Oh, come on now. Hey, YouTube. All right, come ahead into the room, hit the thumbs up, and also say hey so I can know who I'm seeing or talking to. I'll wait a few more minutes. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Let me go ahead and wait a few more minutes. Oh, who dropped off? I'll wait till y'all come back. Hey, Sharky. I'm on the cut. I'll be on my TV. Oh, you mean you watching me on TV or you? Okay. Well, I'm just learning right now how to well, what I'm doing right now, I don't know if you can see my screen or not, but I'm learning how to code. I'm doing this program with Generation. So right now I'm just practicing on developing my first website and fully coding. So even though we're not up to this section yet, but I'm trying to take extra steps on my own to do it. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, I got that right. So that's what I'm doing. No, I'm tired of this dang alarm now. Well, I'm learning it. Well, the program Generation X Generation I was telling y'all about last week, we're doing it through Code Academy, which is a anyone could go on Code Academy. It's free, but see, they have the full version because when you get the entry level, not entry level, the beginning code. Let me say this differently. Code Academy is the platform that we're learning. So right now, we just learn the command line. Now I know y'all know what I'm talking about, but then I have a count. I have a what? Oh, you have an account there, but I never use it. Well, put it this way: you can have an account with them. You can either get the free version where you basically kind of they'll guide you in terms of how to do it. But then there's the other version where if you get the full fledged version, you could just learn um it's a difference between the free and the one that the generation paid for. So it's after the class is over with in 3 months, not 3 months, 15 weeks, which is going to be sometime in January. We get it for 3 months free after that, or I could just simply buy the program, the pro version, and I could get to learn different things. So right now I'm doing my first website, which is going to be basically my website, Teresa, and I'm learning HTML. So right now, this coming week, oh Jesus, I'm so freaking tired of this. I need to call this damn ADP and figure out how to deactivate this thing because it's not activated from the security system. So anyway, so this coming week, we're gonna be learning Git and GitHub. So that's not coding. Git and GitHub is basically like a repository where you get to save your codes. So you have to learn how to do Git and GitHub. But that's not tomorrow. Tomorrow we're learning soft skills. So tomorrow they're gonna have someone from the career services and they're gonna go over cover letters, resumes. Well, we did resumes last week, but they're gonna go over cover letters. And then we go over soft skills. So this program is not just strictly code, code, code. They get a combination of um, soft skills, career building, things of that nature. So I'm just trying to learn right now while I have Visual Basic, which is a code editor. So I'm basically just trying to do a little website page. It's gonna take a minute. This is just not me playing around because I do plan on actually doing my own website, which is gonna highlight my um, skills, my resume. It's a whole lot. When I finish this, I'll show it to y'all and tell y'all what it looks like when it's all finished and when it's all said and done. Because I tried to learn the code maybe what 4 years ago. So I've been trying to self teach myself few years ago, I even went a meetup. I went to a meetup group, girls can code too, and it was like I went downtown. Really, it was actually in Buckhead, and it was this organization. We sit there, and they were teaching us how to code and do our first website page. And I was sitting there, I didn't, it was pretty interesting when I first did it. I don't even know if I kept, um, I don't know if I kept anything from that because I didn't really finish it because I didn't have a lot of things to put. You have that pictures and design and a whole bunch of things. But put it this way, what I remember learning, even the basics at the time, is now coming to full circle now that I'm doing it in this setting. Because when you choose to learn and teach yourself with these online resources that's free, I mean, it's good, but it's really the hands on experience. When you actually doing it, that's when you really get to, that's how you really learn anything, not just coding, but just anything. You could go on YouTube and watch a whole bunch of different videos, um, and watch people how to do it. But unless you do it yourself, you're really not going to really understand it. You're not going to retain it. And you don't have to memorize things. That's a good thing. You just have to. One of the things they taught us, and I've heard this in so many different ways, is learning how to find the information, not commit to memory. It's too much to learn to commit. You just have to learn how to, you have to learn the basics. So, all right, it's three of y'all in the room. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up as you come in, and then I'll start in a few minutes. I ain't gonna stay here long because I need to watch my TV shows on Showtime. So, and tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock. So I do have a few hours before I actually start, from 11 to 7. So, and this is where, so tomorrow morning, I don't, I already slept mostly all day today. I didn't really do nothing. I didn't do anything today. I didn't even do any of my survey assignments because I didn't have any. One, I didn't check my phone. So I don't know if I had any assignments to do this week. So nope. Memorial Day is in May. Is it May? Memorial Day is like way been past. Tomorrow is if it's a holiday tomorrow, either one is Columbus Day, which I don't consider a holiday, or it's Veterans Day is November. Either it's Columbus Day. I don't know. I ain't thought tomorrow was a holiday. Ain't no real no. It's no federal holiday tomorrow that I know of. But it's not Memorial Day. Memorial Day is is way back in May sometime. Veterans Day is November. Any holiday that's in October is either going to be Columbus Day or that's really it. Ain't no only holiday I know in October is going to be either Columbus Day, and Columbus Day ain't no dang holiday. Hmm. Yeah, just as I thought. Tomorrow is Columbus Day, but they changed that. They call it Indigenous Day, meaning that people been disassociated or disallowed Columbus Day as legitimate because he murdered all the Native Americans. So a lot of people don't really say Columbus Day anymore. They say Indigenous Day. So they changed that a couple years ago. But it's a holiday tomorrow, but it's not really. It's one of those holidays that people kind of they kept it as a federal holiday because it's been a federal holiday, but some places have not considered it a holiday anymore. But it's called Indigenous Day. So it might be, let me look at something. It might still be considered a federal, but let me look. Hmm. Yeah. It's both regional and federal. So you know Columbus Day. They call it Indigenous Day. So I guess really some schools be closed, some are not. Now, I don't think it's if it's a federal holiday, things like the post office and stuff like that will be closed. But to call it Columbus Day when you murdered a whole race of people, mm-mm. Just like Juneteenth, they made that a federal holiday. But when they made that a federal holiday a few months ago, everyone it wasn't like one of those days where a lot of companies acknowledge you get holiday pay. Like if you work a holiday like tomorrow with Amazon, they was like, see if they offer overtime, which they have, but I keep missing the dates. I keep missing it. They put it on the app. Oh, we got extra day, we got overtime, it's voluntary. And then when I go there and I think I was gonna click on it, it doesn't even it will be like it's gone. So but let me get on to tell you about my recap for the week. So anyway, I work Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, and I pretty much went to work Thursday, Friday, yesterday, Saturday, right? Now I was supposed to do my survey assignments that Saturday, and I basically went home. After I got off from work that morning, I went home, went to sleep to take a nap, and then I was going to go to the stores I was supposed to do. So I said, "Oh shoot, so I didn't really do them." So I went to work, and this is how stuff that they were talking about at the other centers about Stone Mountain comes to light, about how they disorganized and a whole bunch of other stuff they were telling me about. Now it's starting to show, but I'm not going to transfer back to Browserton, or he's an asshole. But I don't want to get off topic. So Glory Products and Food Reviews. I remember seeing your name. You've been in. It's been a minute since I've seen your name. But go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate it. But I'll discuss that. But let me finish my thought first. So yesterday, I came to work, and we have certain stations that you have to work. They got different stations where that's where you basically stand to sort the packaging or whatever. So I get up there, and you know, whoever's in charge, or the team lead, or whatever you want to call them, they said, "Oh, go back to the station you was at yesterday." So I go back to the station where I was yesterday, the previous night before, and then this other girl, she's her station is right next to mine, right in the back. So she goes, first of all, she had like an attitude. And you know how people, you could tell. I said, what's wrong? And she, oh, whatever. So I was like, whatever, you know. And then so she comes back. So and so and so said to give you this, and they want, to go to whatever station. I was like, I'm already assigned to a station. Why I'm gonna, after I wipe down everything, and they want me to go to a different station, and it's so hard to find a station because they have more people than they have the stations to do the particular job I'm doing. So I'm not trying to walk up and down all over Amazon because this place is huge, right? So I said, how did that come about? I was already assigned, I was already told to go to this station and by so and so, whatever. And just you telling me someone told you, I said, how did that came about? So she says, well, I went to go to the bathroom and then I went to ask her a question. And then she just, no, no, bitch. You went up there and said something. And because nobody is just going to give you a number and tell to give a message to me that I need to change stations. For what? I said, mm-mm. So I said, if they want me to change stations, then let them come. They know where I'm at. They know where people are. They got that lady walk around with a little laptop and they know exactly where you are, what station you at or whatever. So if you wanted me to switch or whatever, then you come to me and say it, not giving something to somebody else telling you to switch and all that kind of crazy stuff. That didn't make no sense. And especially since she said both of us were supposed to go to a certain station, but yet you still stayed at your station. So, um, so I went. I said, "Who is that?" So I went there, and as I was going to approach this person, she was telling me, "Oh, we just want you to move the next station up. Like say this is one station, this is where I'm at." It was already a person already there. This other guy, and he's been at that same station for whenever. Every time I've seen him, he was always staying there. So I was like, that don't make any sense. Somebody was already at the station that you telling me to go to, and this other guy was at the station, and you just all we doing is switching for no reason. No reason to switch. So I was like, you know what, this is a bunch of bullshit because she didn't say to switch. She wanted to, whatever this other chick, this young girl, whatever her reasoning was of not wanting me to to be next to her station. I don't know. It was to me, it was kind of stupid. So meantime, survey.com, they said, oh, you're supposed to do this assignment and you committed to do it on Saturday, blah, blah, blah. I said, the store closed at 8. It's already 6:30. And I'm not going to be able to do it today. Either you can reassign it. So it was kind of like, in a way, threatening in a way. Well, if you don't do it, you'll be permanently banned from doing the Sam's Club, whatever, right? Now, I already was kind of frustrated about all this switching around stations at Amazon and all that kind of crap, or whatever the case may be. So I took um, unpaid time off. I said I had something. I didn't tell them I had what I had to do. So now the original pay with survey to go to these stores just to do something that takes me 6-7 minutes to do. I had, and it was already not too far from where I had to go. So I said, you know what? I had something to do. I took unpaid time off and I went there to complete the assignment because at this point it was $30 per store. So it was $60 just for me to do the two stores. So I went there, clocked out. I said, I'll come back. And when I came back to Amazon, I didn't take the whole unpaid time off because I only, because I work a 12-hour shift. So I didn't want to like use up all that time because I'm trying to save it for anything else in the future. So anyway, um, hold up, y'all. Let me check something. I got something in the oven. I'll be back. Mm-mm-mm. All right, I'm back. So, so I took an hour and 15 minutes of unpaid time off. I came back to Amazon to work. So when I came back, somebody was already at my station. I'm like, what the hell? Now, most of the people in the department I work in, when they come to work, their schedule is usually Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. And they usually come in at 6 till 6:30 the next day. So I was like walking around trying to find another station to work at. There was no stations. I didn't even go up to the third floor, and I didn't go to the fourth floor or the fifth floor. So normally or technically, I'm supposed to be on the third floor where the team that I'm supposed to be on is at. But that first day when I came out of that training and I went to the team lead, her name Tori, she didn't even say, I'm saying, hi, I'm Teresa. This is my first day on the team. She was like, we ain't got no more stations. I didn't say that. You didn't even acknowledge me to say hello or to speak, you know? So I said, well, you know what? I said, I ain't coming up here no more. I'm going to stay right on. I went right up there looking for another station. You got to look for one. So I got to walk around looking for somewhere to work. So when I came back, I didn't see who the person in charge, the team lead. So I said, okay, I already clocked in. I'm already on the clock. So I sat there and waited. I'm like, where they at? You know? And then one person said, oh, what's his name just walked by? I said, he didn't walk by because I was right there, like near the station where the manager would be. So I said, it make no sense for me to walk around because literally you could be walking around looking for someone. You be walking around a big circle. And this is the size of 2 football fields, professional football fields. That's how big it is. And it's just one floor. So by the time you go from the east to the west side to the north side of it, you could be walking for a long time. My Fitbit had registered the night before. I almost did 10,000 steps, which is about 5 miles on my Fitbit. I had did that many steps. Sorry if it's crunchy, but I'm eating garlic toast. So I sat there. You know, she said, well, just sit, you know, one of the persons she was working, she said, just sit there and wait, you know. I said, well, I'm going to get in trouble because if you're not working, you're not on task. I mean, you're not on task, and that could prompt the computer system that this person's not working, but you're on the clock. So, anywho, so 10 o'clock, it was time to go to lunch. So I went to lunch. Then when I was sitting there on a chair outside of the break room, because I tell y'all, you either have to eat your break, you know, go on your lunch in a hallway on a stairwell, because sometimes those little break rooms they got, it'd be so small, it'd be no room, be crowded and all kind of stuff. So he was like, I told him I came back and I said, what time you get? I said about 8:30. He says, well, we figured it out. So they already had lunch. You know, so I'm at lunch and I'm not going to discuss work and stuff about lunch. We figured it out, this other guy. Then got off for lunch, Went to this one girl, the one who telling me to switch and all that, the one who claimed she told the other person to switch and all that kind of stuff or whatever. And well, we don't have any more stations. And who's your manager? Well, first of all, I am supposed to be helping you because I'm not your manager. So I went back. I went upstairs. I go upstairs to find Tori. Then the other guy said, "Oh, she ain't been here the whole week." And I told the other guy who's supposed to be in charge, I said, "Well, we ain't got no more stations. We ain't got no more." No, let me back up a little bit. So before I went upstairs and spoke to this other chick, well, you could either work the docks or help move the pallets. Now, let me tell you what that means. Basically, they call them water spiders. And what they do is they walk up and down with all the crates of products and they just give them to people at each station. So you literally walking. I mean, you walking up and all day you doing this with a pallet in your hand. Well, you either work the docks. Hey, Colas, you either work the docks or you could do. I was like, I'm not working no docks because it was like so because I said, well, what about my time when I came back from 8:30 till 10? You just saying something now? See, I already knew their little fucking games. They're gonna try to act like you were just clocked in, not signing a computer, not doing no work, so the computer could prompt you as unproduction, and then they'll call you on the phone talking about we gotta let you go because you wasn't working for 2 hours and such and such. So to cover myself, I said no. I said I've been here. I walked up and down looking for someone and this and that or whatever. So at that point, I ain't say nothing. I walked away. I said fine. I went back upstairs just to be told that the manager, the team I was supposed to be on, this manager, she ain't been working. She ain't been at work the whole week. Oh, she's gone for a couple of weeks. I said, well, then who I need to speak to because I've been here since I came to work, left, took an unpaid time for an hour and 15 minutes, came back, and I've been here since 8:25. Here it is going on at almost 11. Well, can y'all just VTO me out? Well, I can't do that. I ain't got authorization to do it. So you could speak to so and so. He's the site director. No, he's like above the manager. He's like the site manager. So I said, okay. Oh, he's on the first floor. You can't miss him. He's a short guy. Blah, blah, blah. Right. So I walking down the stairs. So I seen the guy. I didn't know it was him. I said, excuse me, are you Kevin? Yes, I'm Kevin. So he's in the hallway, sitting on the step, on a little computer. So I told him what happened. Now, if I was telling him what happened, he keeps cutting me off, like, because I don't think, he's a young guy. So I don't think he really comprehends everything that you tell him all at once. So I'm sitting here telling him what happened. I said, I came to work. Another manager told me to go to the station I was at the day before. Somebody else, another coworker, comes back telling me somebody told her that I was supposed to switch stations, which was only the next station above that somebody was there. So basically switching for no reason. He keeps interrupting me about wait. So you saying this and that? I'm not. And it's a different thing. Clarifier. So every little piece of the story, he keeps interrupting me or whatever. So after I finally said exactly what happened, well, I need to take care of this because basically the procedure is that you come to work, you cannot put yourself at a station and say, okay, I'm gonna work over here. You got to go to go whoever they supposed to give you a sticker and say this is your station number, and they give out they assign the stations to people. You're not supposed to self-assign yourself and just go work wherever you want. So he said, I go and look into it, whatever. And I was telling at that point, I said, first of all, people want to work with their friends and work next to people and they be on the phone. I sure did. Well, that's an automatic termination or write up or whatever. Exactly. You coming back, somebody so and so said no. You did something that she did or said for that to happen. They got a they got a whole bunch of other stuff they need to focus on than than telling someone else to switch and this and that. Especially since you're not telling me to go back to a different floor or nothing. You telling me to switch from one station that was right next to it and then switch with another guy who been over there working. Mm-mm. So I basically told the manager, I said, you know what? I may not be the fastest store, but I told him, I said I did about 500 packages within the 2 hours, which is the numbers that you're supposed to actually do. And I said, all I do is come to work, do my job, follow the instructions that's given. But I said, I don't know why y'all do that because I said, why don't y'all just simply give people a station and say, this is your workstation and let people stay there and work there without all this confusion and all that kind of stuff. He was trying to say that when I left, um, and the station's given away, but I said, okay, whatever the case may be. But the fact of the matter is, I told him that I was told, and I told exactly what this other manager said. I said, I don't know who her name is. She told me, and I told her, I came back and I was waiting to get assigned to a station. She telling me that's not her issue. That's not her problem. I need to go to the manager. And the manager, his only I said, Tori, and she wasn't even here. She wasn't even at work. She was not even at work the whole week. Probably got COVID, because they be missing it. But they ain't been here for a couple of weeks. Usually when they say they ain't here a couple of weeks, you don't get that many hours of VTO and vacation. You don't accumulate no matter what level you at Amazon. You don't get them. You don't have that many hours. You know. So when they talking about they've been gone for a couple of weeks, that means they had COVID and they had to sit their ass home or whatever. Because every day, every goddamn day, it's an alert come out. Someone got COVID every day. 2-3 times alerts. It's not one person every time. And it's been like that even at the other location I came from. So basically, after I spoke to this manager, he's the site director. He on the computer. He was already dealing with another issue. I just wanted to come and ask him, can you code me out for the rest of the evening VTO? So he coded me out VTO 7 hours. So that means I ain't had to use none of my time or nothing. And all this walking up and down and finding work to do. Even when I went back to the floor that the bitch told me to go to, they tell about, oh, we already have enough people to work the docks. We already got enough people to do so they had nothing for me to do. Nothing. So I said, just VTO me out. I mean, I could have sat there that whole night sitting on that chair doing nothing. Or sat in the corner in the stairwell. Nobody would not even say nothing. They wouldn't even notice. But I said, nope, let me not do that. Because what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, you wasn't in the computer. And they're going to be all this. And nobody's not going to act like they don't know what's going on. They're going to be acting like, I don't remember that. I don't remember her. She left and she came back and I ain't seen her. She ain't came to me, So I said, you ain't going to set me up over no stupidness. I'm just trying to stay in Amazon at least until the beginning of the year in January to take advantage of the free tuition, and see what they have to offer in terms of AWS and learn AWS so I could apply for one of the IT positions in Amazon. That's the only reason why I'm trying to hang in there. It's because I could finish this program I'm doing and apply for a whole different position, not no warehouse associate and try to get in that way. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. Because um, there is such a need for cloud developers. There's such a need for certain, even back end, front end developers. That all I'm trying to do is get my foot in the door, take that little free get that little certification because I'm learning the other aspect of the AWS, which is free, and just get myself set up for that. That's it. Because once they have that apprentice program at Amazon, which you could have to apply to, that I could apply to and go into the apprentice program, the fact that I'm already learning the codes, I'm learning how to code, I just want to be able to put myself in position to say, okay, here it is. Here's my resume. This is what I do. This is what I learn. Because I don't care. The fact that there's not that many black women and women in general in the field of code and computer development, it is I'm gonna use my affirmative action. I sure will. And this is what leading me to my topic about men in college and what video I saw today that was talking about it. But let me go ahead and answer Glory product reviews about what I think about Kevin Samuels for a moment. I'm not giving him no platform or no discussion and thought. He's an ass. For one, he's a fake. For two, and he's phony. You gotta be in your crazy mind. Hey, NBA City. I appreciate it. And please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So let me tell you about my thoughts of Kevin Samuels. First of all, I was like, who the hell is him? And what are he trending over stupid stuff? So after I was watching a few videos on YouTube that were talking about him and there were some people I just had to kind of, nope, I'm not going to support your channel because you're talking foolish. And it all began because this one black lady that was on there, yeah, she was on there getting advice from him. How you gonna get advice from a closeted faggot? Because that's what he is, a closeted faggot. You know, talking about he a stylist and you be in Phipps Plaza and all that. Nigga, you ain't got no money. You ain't dressed nobody for nothing. Ooh, fake. I can't stand fake men. I can't. I cannot stand fake, phony men, particularly black men. I can't stand it. He ain't helping nobody. He only helping himself. He ain't help nobody. Because, let me tell you, all he did was reverse. All he did was he found a weak link and jumped on that. Because let me tell you, at one point, I remember, see, I'm 52, right? I remember at one point they were saying how educated black women with degrees, that if you didn't find a husband by the time you was in college, it will be hard to find a man past a certain point in your age, right? So, they always try to spin this narrative in some way. And who's the one spinning it? First, they were trying to say, oh, the reason why black women can't find a man is because They feel threatened because women were making more than men. They were highly educated. Um, they were too successful. Um, they was focusing on their careers. Blah 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 blah. Now, 20 years or so changes. Now they trying to flip the script and trying to say, first they were saying, oh man, they either gay, they in jail, or they, broken down and all that. Cause no, they were trying to always put that narrative with black women trying to think black they can't find a man because they either gay in jail or whatever. Now I know I did say Samuels is nothing but a closeted faggot, but I wouldn't say that's the reason why women can't find no man, no black man. Put it that way. So now here this nigga come around talking about black women, they fat, they don't want to take care of themselves. And any troll that comes on here and got something to say to me, you're going to get blocked. So don't come on here. Don't. So now he going to try to come talking about black women. No, the reason why black women can't find no man is because, they ghetto. They got 5 kids by 5 different baby daddies. They don't want to work, and they gold diggers. They this, they that. Now all of a sudden, they trying to flip the script, and here he come supposed to be the mouthpiece of all mouthpieces for black men, like he's supposed to represent black men, and got something to say. No, he come a day with that little narrative. So here it comes. Here comes these so-called black men who think they can't find no black woman, so they date outside the race. They've been dating outside the race. They've been dating other women of other ethnic groups. Just to turn around, the other side of the fence is not as green as you think it is when you bring your black ass over there, and then that white woman or Asian woman or Latino woman take all your money, and you paying child support for the next 30 years, and they're gonna give it to them. You're gonna pay. But a lot of these regular black man, now I'm not talking about who's NBA stars or who got money playing ball or whatever. Just regular old black folks who ain't got no money in the first place, or if they are engineers or got money going on for themselves, they tend to try to go and they try to date outside of the race. And thinking that it's better. Some of them, they ain't gonna tell you the truth. They don't, and then social media kind of really hyping it up more so. Years ago, that was they were spinning that narrative. They were spinning that narrative. It ain't no different in terms of divorce rates being as high or unmarried black women. I've heard that in the making for the last. I've heard that for the last 20, 25 years. So here he come talking about, kicking down black women and what black women get on his channel, seeking advice. And you're gonna sit there and let someone talk to you that kind of way. That's the video I saw. I was like, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? You don't take no advice from no man. Especially him. All he doing is getting clicking views and trying to grow a YouTube channel. He's just one of those in the moment, he'll get his little 5 minutes of fame, and then that about to fizzle out. That about to go. That's about to fizzle out real quick. About 2-3 months from now, you ain't gonna hear too much about him. Just like what's his name? Who was talking about the one hit wonder in basketball? What's his name? Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown started clowning on people. Yes, all those NBA personnel, Stephen A. Smith and all the rest of them. Then he became like a YouTube, everybody was blowing him up on YouTube, and he had a YouTube channel. He was getting like $100, $200 with super chat money and all. And I not to say he needs the money. I don't know why people would give money to him as a super chat. He ain't need no money, but he was trending for a minute. And after a while, he talked about Becky with the good, Matt with the good hair, Becky with the good hair, and all that kind of stuff. See, people be trending for a moment. And then about a couple months, it'll die down. You don't hear too much from them. There are other YouTubers who got big channels. They trying to interview him, Tasha K, and people try to bring them on to the channel. Oh, I got exclusive with Kevin Samuels. I saw that thing with Tasha K and being exclusive, but see, he got on there. He didn't say all that. I seen the video when she interviewed him. He wasn't talking all that crazy crap, but see, he talks all that because um he just making capitalizing on money on YouTube, and he'll be exposed soon enough. Like he got all this stuff going on. No, he ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing going on. How the hell you gonna be? How you gonna think just because you put on? And then he always seemed like he wear the same suit all the time. It ain't like you know, that tight ass suit that's not even meant for no black man to wear. A tight ass suit. Nigga, if you don't get that thing off you and wear and get it custom made to fit, he looking all swollen up in that um European suit that's meant for European white men to wear, and you squeezing your. I hate when black men be doing. They'll be wearing all tight pants, all showing all your front balls all tight, and then they don't even fit. They look stupid as hell. They don't even fit your butt, your black ass. Why are you wearing it? They be wearing it and stuff. I used to work at Rich's years ago, 1996. I worked at Rich's in the men's department, and that's all I did all day when I worked there in the men's department. I didn't do inseams and sewing. I was you measure them, you know, measure them and say what's supposed to be fit, what's supposed to be fitted on you. Then you take it to the tailor at the Riches, and they would just, now it's Macy's. You know, people just picking stuff off the rack and then just squeezing their ass up in there, and then you walking around like you supposed to be. Nah, bye. And I think he's here in Atlanta because they were talking about he go to Fitz Plaza. He's supposed to be a shopper, you know, for people. That's a stylist or whatever. I'm like, nope. And if it's and you sit here buying all those expensive things and like, oh look, fake, 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 fake. So that's my opinion about Kevin Samuels. Because ain't no way that people could look at you and you got other people on YouTube saying, oh, he in the closet. It's something ain't right in that tea. It ain't something right in that coffee. So, Glory Products and Food Reviews. I know what a lot of people he helping, but you trying to talk about black women, reason why they ain't got no man and all this about you having 3-4 kids and all. I don't know what segment or what part of the women he talking about. But a lot of women don't fit that category. A lot of black women are not in that category. I know I'm not in the category. I don't have a whole bunch of, even though I don't have any children, trust and believe. I wouldn't be, my mother always said, if you have, if you have one child and I'm not going to say a lot of women, because it's not just black women. I'm not saying a lot of women who are not married or whatever, they may have three different children by, three different baby daddies or what, that that it was a mistake. It's just that sometimes in hope in people will want to be in a relationship with someone, you don't ever know what happened. People may have children by different people for any number of reasons. One, they could have, the person, the father could have died. Two, and there's some men, they do run out on women with, with children. They'll run out and they don't have nothing. That happens. Um, any number of reasons. Any number of reasons. I mean, I was pregnant once before, but I don't have any children because the situation at the time, which I'm not going to get into, was very disheartening. But nevertheless, he tried to describe women, the ones on welfare and food stamps and Section 8. He tried to, he tried to be, he tried to make it seem like, oh, black women, they ghetto and they don't want no man and they don't take care of themselves and this and that or whatever. Now, not Tony Braxton, Tamar Braxton made a video, not a video, but made a statement last week about it. About black women, coming out the house and looking this kind of way, this and that, whatever. People try to say stuff for shock value. They just trying to say something for shock value so people could be like, oh no, look what so and so said. Because of social media, because of clicks and views. That's all that is. That's all that is. You don't see white people, you don't see Indian, and you don't see Asian people um talking about their own people like that. You don't hear Asian women, Indian and whatever say, "Oh, she she nothing but a trollop or whatever, or whatever they say, and then talk down to their own people and put it on social media for the sake of putting on social media." All the situations happen with all people, white, Indian, Asian, all of that happened in terms of women having children and struggling and whatever else may happen. Now, some cultures may not have a whole bunch of children by different men. That's certain cultures. But in terms of them having 5, 6, 7 kids living in poverty, that's a majority of people around the world. A lot of women, particularly around the world in different cultures, they have multiple children struggling. You know, Men too, but you won't see other cultures badger their own people like that. Not as much as black folks be doing that. Black, let me make myself clear. African American, diaspora, black people in the United States, they do that crap. They come there and have people talk down and say stuff like that. You don't see that in no other culture, in black culture, whether they're from African, the Caribbean islands, or whatever. If people have, I had aunts, I have cousins and stuff. If they have multiple kids and they have, two baby daddies or whatever the case may be, or had two, the kids from two different families or two different people or whatever, they don't sit up there and just, you know, talk nasty and talk bad. Oh, she ain't doing nothing. Oh, she not gonna be on Section 8 housing. Because I have family members, you know, they be struggling financially and getting assistance and stuff. But people are not going to sit up, people in my family, I could tell you, they're not going to sit up there and talk bad and talk down and nasty. So this damn Kevin Samuels person who's sitting up here doing that, he's the last person to speak. He divorced. I'm quite sure he got children. And Just because you ain't hear nobody, these ex-wives talk about it. This man is 50 something years old. He ain't nobody who just came up on YouTube whenever time he came on here. Nope. You get no respect from me. You get no play from me. You're not even gonna be mentioned in the title. Because like I said, clicks and views. But anyway, let me go to my topic about um men in college. So anyway, I came across somebody's video today about why Black men are not going to college, or the decline of college enrollment, in particularly amongst men. He was trying to say, and I don't know who this person is. I don't need to subscribe. He was trying to say that men, they go to college, they are not respected because of gender neutral issues or something like that. He was saying, and I was like, most men, if they didn't go, if they don't go to, if they're not in college, it's not because they feel that women get all the treatment, and you can't, you have to use the pronouns he, she, you know, you know, he, she, him, her, and people going to, men going to college, they're being biased against. I was like, what the hell are they talking about? How men being biased, you know? And saying, they go to these schools and being discriminated. So now they have this, now they trying to increase men enrollment in colleges and universities by offering all these different affirmative actions, programs, scholarships. Like if you was a man, you want to go to college, and the fact that you're a man, you could go to any college you want, regardless. Scholarships, they try to increase the enrollment for men. I was like, when I went to college, and I went to University of South Carolina, and before that, I went to Baruch College. So I've been on college campuses and stuff. And when I went to school, I wouldn't say that it was like a high majority of men, but it was kind of, um, of course there was more women, but it depends on the major, with school, because once you go to college and stuff and say liberal arts, which is nothing but a wasteless degree, in my opinion, unless you plan on going to law school or whatever. But other than that, um, a lot of they were trying to say that was the reason. I was like, that's not the reason. Most men may not, recently, I would say in the last 10, 15 years, a lot of people, maybe shorter than that. I don't know. I got to really look and see when it started to decline. People in general are not going to college because they don't want to be, they were saying men are rational. They don't want to see themselves in debt. They look at the rate of return in terms of going to college. Ain't nobody did all that. Most men are not saying, I'm not going to go to college because the rate of return and men making money is not going to, they are not thinking that. They're not. Most guys, when they come out of high school, they didn't want to go to college in the first place, not because the rate of return and the investment and being in debt. No, some people may think that, but that's not their reason why they didn't want to go to college. They didn't want to go to college because a lot of them, most men, unless they want to play sports, football, and even basketball, it's not even, you don't have to go to college anymore if you play basketball, but college football, you will have to go to college at least 2 years and then you leave. So a lot of them go to college is either when they play football, they go there for 2 years, and after 2 years, they just opt out. And if they that good, they go to the draft. If they play basketball, if they're really good, some of them opt out of high school. No, some of them opt out of college, and they either start at the NBA, and if they don't go to college, they'll go to college for that 1 year to play. And if they're good enough, they may If they don't get into the NBA, they'll play overseas because it's money. But ain't nobody thinking about no rate of return and this and that or whatever. They thinking because one, they go in certain fields they may go to. There's a lot of guys they go into school to be plumbers, HVAC, welding, even STEM to some extent. Like what I'm learning at Generation. But in regards to the decline of enrollment for men going to college, it's not because it's so dominated by women and in the office field, working in an office is dominated by women and all that stuff. It depends on the profession. Like customer service, that's not no career. That's just a job for me, working in customer service. A lot of jobs like customer service and stuff is mostly women, but a lot of women or a lot of people in the customer service field, or even when I worked at various different organizations, whether it be the government or private sector, a lot of women went to college because that's what it was told. Oh, you must go to college. You have to go to college because that was the norm that they were telling women. And women didn't start going to college. Enrollment didn't start increasing until, you know, like after World War II, and when they were not just subject to be homemakers and stay at home and cook, clean, and take care of kids. Women started going into when women started working in the workforce, the enrollment in college enrollment started. And now don't get me to be right or saying it's true. I'm just going by speculation of memory about when did women really started, increase enrollment in college. Until women started entering the workforce after World War II, like the late 50s, the 60s or so, an increase in women going to college really started to take off. I want to say it was the 60s or maybe the 50s, but I want to say it's more like the 60s. Women really started going to college. I mean, they've always gone to college throughout years, but you know, there's a lot of different things you have to factor in. Black women, HBCUs, and college was really depending on your race and how the enrollment of college and people going to school. But in terms of men, the decline, and now they're trying to get a lot of men to go to college by giving these affirmative action programs and scholarships, is because these colleges and universities, they're not making no money. And if you don't have people not interested in going to college or going to university, their existence is going to be wiped out. The brick and mortar is going to be gone. That's why a lot of these schools offer online programs. Oh, you don't have to go to the brick and mortar. You can actually go online and go to school online. But it's about money. It's about revenue. That's all that is. Ain't got nothing to do with, oh, we need men to go to college. No, no one don't really need to go to college. Not in this era. Not in this time frame. Going speaking now. Unless you're going to law school, medical school, nursing, that requires you to go to school in some form or fashion, you don't have to go to college and put yourself in debt. That's a lot of people are not really going to college because now a lot of people are going in debt. I wish I didn't go to college, to be honest. I wish I didn't go to college because if I didn't go to at least my MBA, I wouldn't have been in those student loan debts. I wouldn't. I would have, yeah, people would say, oh, you could go and research for scholarships and stuff. I came out going to college with a scholarship. I came out, got the Pell Grant. I didn't start accumulating that student loan debt when I went and got my MBA because at the time I went to school to get my MBA was because I wanted to advance in the government. That's that's why I went. Other than that, it didn't fare out like that. Now I know somebody gonna say trying to be a troll and say how that MBA working out for you. Now it took me, it gave me entry in the foot in the door for a lot of things that I've been doing for the years. But And any type of degree that you get, 5 years after getting it or so, it's not really that important. After that, once you get your degree and you go into the workforce, at that point, it's the accumulation of my work experience that starts to be more important. Not, oh, we look for someone with a degree. Yeah, they want someone with a degree. They say, oh, we prefer MBA or bachelor's degree for this job. Yes, you would need to do it. The positions that I had, I got paid because I had the degrees. But after a while, once you start working and you start getting experience, the degree is not that much of a factor. That's why it's always at the bottom of your resume. My resume is focused on these are my skills, these is my work experience, and then the education that's at the bottom. But when you first start out working, you come out of college and undergrad, grad, then you focus on your education, but then you try to gain some type of work experience by entering the workforce as an entry level. But in regards to guys and the men being declined in college because of gender neutral issues and things of that nature, because it's dominated by women and all that, that's not no. Men have options more so than women. I hate to say it. A man can have more options because they can say, "Oh, I want to go into welding, HVAC, plumbing, manual type of work." Women could do the same thing too, because there's a lot of women that's starting to, not go to college. They start going to trade schools or 2-year college and learn a trade or a skill. They trading in your skills for pay. You can't trade in no degree for pay. You can get your foot in the door. That might have been good years ago, but now, if I was a my younger self today, and I was 18, 19, 20 today, in this age, I wouldn't have gone to college. I would have gone to a trade school. I would have learned to code. I would have learned computers. What I'm doing now, I would have done that. That's what I would have done. That's exactly what I would have done. I would not be focusing on, let me get my degree. No, not in this age. Not if I was younger. Today, nope. And as a man, you got so many programs. Even if you play football and you were good enough to play football, basketball, soccer, or sports in general, they make more money than the typical women team makes. Unless you one of these big superstars on the soccer team for women's soccer, but you get most of your money through endorsements. You know, these commercials they may give, but they not making that contract like that. They ain't making no money like that. Women has always not. Women has always made less in pay in men, and regardless of the industry or jobs. Even then, what I'm doing now, learning to do, they said it was like women only make about 20 something percent of the IT and make 30% less in pay than men. I just got through a seminar that I was watching with this man who started She Code Academy. He said he did a training, he started a whole company for She Code Academy to teach women to go into the computer field. He just showed a Google graph of about, the graph of how less there were less women in the field than in this IT field. And it's predominantly men. And now they're trying to reverse that by getting women to code, go into engineering, STEM, you know. Now, women are in nursing and things like that. That's part of the STEM. But in regards to like computers and IT and software developers and all these other aspects of the they're trying to get more women in the field. And most certainly, there's less black women that's in the field than anything. So a lot of women now, like my nieces, one went to college for 2 years, went to the Navy, then she's on medical leave. She got discharged from medical. The other one is in the Navy. She said, "Mom, why should I go to college when I could go to? I could go." She went to the Marines, and she's short, petite, short little thing in the Marines, learning Arabic, and then she'll be working for like one of those the NSA or something like that. That's a male dominant field. I'm quite sure there's not a whole lot of women in the no Marines doing that. But she could get out of she serves her time in the Marines. When I remember a year she wished to go, and she learns all these high tech, then speak Arabic. Um, she got it made. The other one, I don't know. I haven't spoken to my sister lately because she's married. My other niece, she's married, got 2 kids and stuff. So hopefully she will um, use that skill. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what she's gonna do. Maybe she would. She could go back to school and learn something in technology. But hopefully that won't get deferred. That won't get derailed because sometimes when people get married, they have kids. And the husband. I don't know what he's doing. I never met him, and he has a family here in Atlanta. So I don't know I don't even know what he's doing. I mean, I know he will be a stay-at-home dad and stuff, but they met in college, so they went to Albany State. So he dropped out, of course, and got followed her. He's following my niece. So hopefully he will take it upon himself to either one go back to school because see he's one of the perfect candidates. If he want to go back to school and whatever it is he decide to do, they got money available for men to go and get scholarships. Now, I'm not saying he should go to a 4-year school or whatever. Don't go in no debt. I know that. Do not do the student loan. Do not put yourself in debt. For a man to go to college now, if they got money to give you for scholarships and you're going to be used as affirmative action, you better take advantage of it as long as you getting a free ride and it's something that's going to be useful. Now, you're going to go to college and do something useful. Now, you don't need to go to college to get a computer science degree to learn to code because you don't learn coding in undergrad. You don't learn coding. You don't learn that skill in 4 years. They don't even teach you that. I don't care what anyone say. Now, there's some mock, what they call MOC, like Coursera, like some of these colleges and universities, they're offering certificates and particular degrees and you learning the hands-on training, but you have to really look into, will I be able to come out of this program with a portfolio of work projects to show to employers? But the decline of men not going to school because one, if they don't have no intentions on starting to go to college and they want to learn a skill trade, go to 2-year school, that is more important. There are more men that's in STEM or programs that's hands-on learning, HVAC and mechanic, not auto mechanic, but like whether you fixing robots, fixing towers or networks, welding, plumbing, things like that. Most men are geared, they've been taught at a younger age about those type of careers, putting your hands on fixing stuff, and there's a decline in people learning that. They said now there's a decline of people, truck drivers and HVAC and those type of field is starting to be a decline that I'm starting to notice that they say there's a decline. That's why a lot of women are entering those non-traditional women fields. You know, there is no such thing. This job is for a man. But they had that mindset to think that it used to be this is a man's job. Women ain't supposed to do that. And you see a woman learning that. That's not true. That's not true. When the men back in the World War II or whatever, when men had to go out to war, The women had to work in the factories, and they were the ones who were learning mechanics and fixing things and all that stuff. They were doing that when the men had to go out to war. And women started picking up those jobs in factories, learning how to fix. And then when the men came back, they put them right back in the house, you know. And it wasn't until, like I said, it wasn't until at least the 60s, 70s, an increase of women went to schools. They started, they weren't no Sally homemakers and stuff. Hey, callers. So that's a bunch of crap when I heard about, oh, this, gender, this and that. That's why men ain't going to school because it's dominated. Mhm. Because women dominate, nope. Ain't nobody disenfranchising no man because of college. So most people in college now, most people, if you look at any college campuses now, most colleges campus now is like Asian and Indian. Black folks, maybe a couple black women here, black women, but it ain't no. It's always been very. It's always been more men and more women in college than there were men. Even when I was going to school, even then, that's why they used to say men on those college campuses. It was like 10-1. It was like 10-1. They could, if you was a man on a college campus, they was like, oh, you could get any female you want because it was so dominated by women that they could choose any number of women they want. It was like, for every, it was 10-1 for every man. Whereas, yeah, there's more people. Oh, I went to Baruch College. You know Baruch College, City University of New York, and then I transferred and went to University of South Carolina to finish my undergrad. And then I went to Capella University online, which was a private school that put me in all those dang student loan debts. Yep, right there on 23rd. And I could have just stayed at Baruch College. Yeah, Baruch is a good college. It's an excellent school for business. I could have stayed there and just got my undergrad and just stayed at Baruch. But, oh, you went to John Jay School of Criminal Justice. That's why you want to do criminal justice. Yeah, Baruch College, they built up. I heard they built up. They really built up that campus. When I was going there, they ain't had all those things they had back in the day. They did not have no all those things they had back in the day. But now, um, now that's what they really good though. I would not I know that's the thing that made me piss up because when I went to college, I had a scholarship with my church, and then I also had the Pell Grant. The tuition was not expensive at the time. I could have stayed, but well, you know what? There's a long story why I went. Oh, I'm not at Baruch though. That's why I transferred. It was a long story. I didn't want to get into it, but if I ever had to, yep, yeah, yeah, the books and I didn't do no work study program because I was working when I went to Baruch. I was working at the I was working part time at the bank, and I was working part time at Wall Street and stuff. So I had a job when I was working there too. So I left, and I know I took a course at Brooklyn College. So I did stay in the CUNY system, but I didn't. Like I said, I didn't have to take out no student loans at all. It was not until I transferred and went to South Carolina that I took out student loans because I was paying for the housing and stuff like that. But even then, it wouldn't have been that expensive. But shoot, it was those dang NBA that really took it over. Oh, okay, you went on USA Jobs. What? You had to send them proof of vaccination. See, it's already starting. They already said if you work for the federal government, you gotta those people who work is even as a contractor. If you're a contractor for the government or you work for the government, you have to be vaccinated. And matter of fact, that time that okay, yeah, send it to me. Yeah, that time frame about showing proof of vaccination. If you work for the federal government or a contractor, for you to apply for a job by the government now, you got to have proof that you've been vaccinated. If you talk about I ain't taking no vaccination, I ain't, and you work for the federal and you ain't been vaccinated, you might as well either retire or quit. If you know, so for all those people say, I'm not taking no mandate. It was so stupid. I try not to keep talking about this damn vaccination issue because the more I keep seeing these dumb stuff, these stupid ass people on YouTube, not YouTube, on the news, on CNN.com or whatever, they keep they get on my nerves. But anyway, I want to talk about the college thing. I think I talked about that enough. But let me tell you. So Senator Lindsey Graham, who is the Republican senator from North Carolina. Okay, I'm gonna look at my phone. My phone is charging. Is it still charging? Yep, it's charging. So let me tell you. So, anyways, Lindsey Graham. I want to say he's either Senator South Carolina or North Carolina. I don't know. North Carolina, I believe. North Carolina. He was at no, it was South Carolina. Yeah, it was South Carolina. Let me take it back. Doherty County, which is somewhat like in the lower country, whatever. So he was at this rally or whatever a couple of days ago, and these dumb crackers were talking about booing him because he was like endorsing about getting vaccinated. So they had somebody in the background screaming, "That's a lie. That's not true. I'm about to lose my job in 2 weeks." Um, from the federal government. So he's about, um, are you a federal plate? Well, no, but I'm a contractor. Uh, I'm a veteran. So he said, so Lindsey Graham was saying, I'm a veteran too. And he took the back. He said he took the back seat. I don't believe it. No, boo. They keep booing him. They were boo, boo. You know. And he talking about, I'm about to lose my job in 2 weeks. There's a person screaming. He the heckler all in the back. I'm a veteran. You know. I mean, just, he said, he asked him, hey, you work for the government? No. I said, you sound stupid as hell. You did all that yelling and screaming in the back. All right, I'll talk to you later. That's what he told. That's what Senator Graham told him. He said, I'll see what I can do. He ain't doing nothing. I'm against the mandate. If you're against the mandate, what is that, And they said, I don't know, these people just gave me a headache. I was like looking at them like, y'all stupid as hell. So basically, it's like people, I don't know what it is. It's like, he said, it's just like you had to be vaccinated for the mumps. That ain't the same thing. People. So you know what? You want to keep your job as a federal contractor, federal employee, and you don't want to follow the rules of getting a vaccination get on there. I don't believe in mandate. I don't, I said, okay. So if you don't believe in the mandate, and they say, okay, if you're a federal employee, they say everybody. They say federal employees, contractors, you must get a vaccination in order to keep your job. Then that means you choose. You choose not to get it, then you quit. You're not going to be in the public. You're not going to be all up in the public, getting everybody sick, passing on your, you know, don't want to wear a mask. You don't want to wear a mask. You don't want to be vaccinated. You burning mask. I don't want to wear no mask. Okay, they stay your stupid ass home. And then when the senator said he got vaccinated, they booed him. Boo. I don't believe it. He said, I don't believe in the mandate, but I do believe in the vaccination. You know what? You know what's going to help? You know what's going to help? You know what's going to help? This was going to help. You don't want no mandate? Fine. You don't want no mask? Fine. But you know what? Once they stop giving out this free vaccination, and they say, okay, you know what? We're not making no more. We're gonna donate whatever vaccinations we got to other countries that need it, which is surpassing the United States, by the way. And some of these countries, the rate of vaccination is going down, but they said nope. If you're coming from the United States or maybe Canada, we're not letting you in the country. We're not, and I don't blame them. You don't get it, don't come. Don't even show. Don't even show up. Don't even come in our country. This thing would have been declined. Been, I won't say over, but at least it would have been declined to the point where eventually it would have been eradicated, and that would have been it. Don't don't step food. I don't say step food. I don't know what you mean by that. But what they need to do, okay, you don't want the vaccination, fine. But if you go to the hospital and you gotta be treated, this is your hospital bill. Companies need to start increasing. Oh, don't step your no, they shouldn't. They not. Don't step your foot in there. Don't even put your foot. Don't even get off the boat. You take a cruise and stuff, and they go into other foreign countries. Trust me, they're gonna ask for vaccination proof before you go to these cruise ships. Then they're gonna eventually do it where they're gonna have to show proof when you get on a plane. You're gonna have to show proof. Certain states they're gonna do it where if you come to New York, you gotta show proof that you vaccinated before you even step over the George Washington Bridge. Oh, show your proof vaccination or something. It's gonna get to that point. People gonna be so divided that certain states they're gonna be like, nope. And then they say, okay, you don't gotta get vaccinated. They're gonna get to the point where companies are gonna start increasing their premiums to through two, three, 400, even $500, whatever the amount's gonna be that you pay for insurance. They said just like people who smoke. If you smoke and you're a smoker, some of these companies, because you're a smoker, you increasing the insurance, what they pay insurance. So you gotta pay a premium because you're a smoker, because you're a risk. And don't say you don't smoke and you smoke. Some of these companies now, they say, okay, go ahead and take this little test, put this thing in your mouth. Oops, you a smoker. Matter of fact, one of the companies I used to work for, they used to do that. If you went to take a test, not even a test, it was something where when you go, they give you like so much money in your health savings plan that if you went to take this test, your battery test for your basic vitals and stuff, part of it also was this person a smoker, and they indicate nope. So if you was a person who smoked, it would be right there up on your you see that little 20, it was $50 at the time that they increased it by. This was a few years ago. So I know it's way more. I know for this COVID thing, they're gonna probably increase that insurance premium way more than $50. I tell you that. So let them not take, okay, I don't want to wear no mask, I don't want to be vaccinated. Okay, that's up to your choice. But they're gonna start having where you gonna pay. You're gonna pay. You go to the doctor, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm here, I'm got COVID, I can't breathe. They're gonna ask you, did you take the COVID test? No. All right, well you sit right down there, and then they're gonna start charging. They can't deny you service. They can't deny you treatment, but UNIT's not going to just come up in anybody's hospital and nobody emergency room. Tell I can't breathe, and you talk about you ain't got the cold, you ain't get the test. Sit right here. Okay, sit right down there. Sit right there. They shouldn't have no preference. They should not have preference for people who come in there who are cancer victims or people who um, came in with other issues while you exhaust the resources of the person of healthcare personnel, hospitals, and everything else. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I can't even go to a doctor till November because they talk about due to COVID. Nope. It's just plain ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. I need more. I need to do the research. How much fucking research do you need? It's almost a year since they came out with the vaccination. It's been a year. And then when they said if you work and it's mandated this and that or whatever, no, I don't want to lose my job. I hate to lose the job I love. I don't believe in the vaccination. I should keep my job. And you a teacher teaching kids, children who can't even get vaccinated yet. How selfish is that? The vaccination ain't nothing more than any other vaccination that you have to take for other things. Mumps, measles, um, whatever. I can't even think of all the things that people get vaccination shots for. But you get vaccinated as a child. You get vaccinated when you go to college, so you don't get no measles or mumps or whatever. You know, they give you a tetanus shot and say, "Oh, this is good for 10 years." And trust me, I'm quite sure none of these vaccination shots has affected me in any sort of way. The only thing that probably affect your health is if you're diabetic, you're not eating right, and I did drink some green tea today that had no sugar. It was green tea with peach. It was so good, I was so surprised. They said it had no sugar, and they said it does not spike your sugar levels, and it had no sugar in it. And it was surprisingly, it tasted like peach green tea. And I just was in this cup, and I was so shocked. I was like, what? I said, man, I've been bypassing this thing for the longest time. So next time it goes on sale for two for $5, I'm gonna buy that green tea. It was diet green tea, and I was surprisingly it was good. I was like, what? Zero sugar, and they had no acetate, none of that funny stuff either. So I was surprisingly shocked. So I think I found my brand new tea that I could drink. I could actually drink the diet green tea with peach. My mother was drinking that a couple years. She said, "Don't touch my tea, no, my Arizona tea. That's my, you know, I'm not, I ain't eating all this, drink all this sugar." And it had no sugar in it. I was surprised. So I said, "Oh, I found me something to drink other than drinking water." You know, other than drinking water. So I was surprisingly shocked. Because every time I see something diet, I was like, oh God, ain't got no taste. But I was surprised. I bought it. I said, let me try this out. And Surprisingly so. And they had none of those things, and they had even broke it down because it's that Arizona tea. They got the antioxidants like vitamin A, C, D. So, and even when I read it, I was like, okay, I said, let me read this and see what it says. And it said it would not spike your sugar levels up, and it was like no sugar, none, not acetate, not that fake sugar, nothing. So, but I don't know. Like I said, you want to apply for a government job, you gotta take the vaccination too. And if you want to do if you want to be a contractor, or even if you had a business and say you want to do contract with the government, I never. It's hardly. I don't buy stevia, but when I saw stevia at the farmers market, I bought it. At first, I was gonna buy it. Then I said, "No, this is Then I ended up buying the pure cane sugar. So, but there's also a stevia plant that you could actually, make a plant stevia. But no, I never tried stevia. Yep, all contractors, all government employees, you do business with the government, whether you want to be a contract and say because the government contracts for everything from cleaning supplies, office supplies, office equipment, chairs, janitorial service, security, you name it. Ain't no religious. A lot of people putting that down there. I mean, religious exemptions. You still got to be vaccinated with the New Work government, with the government. I don't think there is no. If there's a religious exemption, I don't know. There were some of these NBA players or whatever they were trying to put in religious exemption. They got denied. So I guess whatever they asked them. See, a lot of people like to throw that up. I got a religion. They didn't even say. You know what's so funny is what's so funny about that argument about religious exemptions is that that's not the first thing that they say. I'm not taking the vaccine. Why? I don't want to take it. I need more research. The first thing that came out of most people's mouths, they didn't say, "Oh, because of my religion." Da da da. That's not the first thing people said. There is no doctrines in any religious faith that spoke anything about exemptions from taking a shot. There is not one. Catholic, Jewish, Muslim, all different sectors of Christianity, whether you be Methodist, Cognate, um, Baptist, there is no, there's nothing in those doctrines that speaks about vaccinations. Because if that's the case, India, with their religions of Hindu and those African countries, those any of those 51 countries in Africa, um, Latin American countries, China, there is no there is no religious exemptions. You look at you didn't even have to look at people in the United States. You look at other people, other worlds, or other places around the world. You know, so that's full of crap. Religious exemptions. There ain't none. The only place that I can think of where religious exemption would be the Mennonites. The Mennonites are, it's like a sect in the Quakers. You know those people in Pennsylvania and Ohio, those little Muslim Mennonites. They're the ones that be they don't believe in electricity and all that kind of stuff, and they ride the buggies and they make their own stuff. Those are Mennonites, and that's just like a sector of Quakers. Let me pull it up on Mennonites, and they live in their own communities. And let me pull it up real quick. I don't know. I can't find nothing. I did a search. I can't find Mennonite. But anyway, I did pull in religious exemptions and stuff. And basically, they was trying to say that certain churches said they'll give a letter, but then they want them to pledge to the church that they said I'm a it's just too much. It's just too much. But the verse that people are trying to say is about the temple of God, this and that or whatever. They say nothing about no vaccine. They say nothing like that. So there ain't nothing there, nothing in there, even when I pulled it up in Google. But they said somebody can request to the employer and say they want a religious exemption. They can't question them. But the thing is that they can't, they said it's a discretion of the employee about giving accommodation. But the thing is, this is where people gonna have to choose. They said that the company's not gonna keep paying people to take put it this way. If you're gonna claim religious exemption or refusal to take the vaccine for whatever your reason is, the companies are not going to keep pay because not going to continue to keep testing for free. You can't come to work every day. Okay, you're going to subject yourself to get tested every day or every week or every hour. They're not going to pay that no more. They're not going to do it. So now, since they're not going to pay for that, they're going to say you're going to have to pay for it. If you want to come to work, you want to keep working for the company, the government, employees, companies are not going to continue to keep paying to get tested every week. So they said, okay, we're not doing it anymore. Nope, no more. Mm-mm. So you don't want to get tested. You don't want to get the vaccine. You don't want to get the punch. You don't want to get the snap. This they call it this the stab or whatever. Then you're gonna have to get tested yourself, and you got to do it. Nope. Insurance companies are not going to do that. Your insurance company, let me tell you where the insurance comes into play. The insurance comes into play is that if that's where you have to pay that extra $100, $200, $300, $400 premium every month. That is where you're going to have to pay extra. So the insurance company is not going to pick up the tab and say, okay, this is covered at 100%. No. Right now, see, you have to understand, open enrollment is now in October 1st to the 20th, because I have to decide if I'm gonna do, renew my insurance and everything else with Amazon with the insurance. So if they'll ask you, did you get vaccinated or whatever, and you say nope, then your insurance premium is going to be. I'm just giving an example. Say it's $50 a week. Now they said nope, I'm not vaccinated. I ain't taking it. Okay, so your monthly insurance is now going to be $150. Rather than paying $50, they could say it's $100, whatever the amount. So they said it's required that everybody wear a mask, but people still walking up there with the mask half off their face and all that kind of stuff. They say you're supposed to wear the mask, but people wear the mask when they come in, but they're not really enforcing it. I mean, I'm not saying you walk around with no mask on your face. Some people, they I don't know. They say you're supposed to wear the mask. Some people wear the mask. Some people have it, half off their face, not on their face. I had to tell somebody the other day. I'm standing there sitting down in the chair, and he's sitting up in there singing along. He had no mask on his face. Well, what they got to wear? He Jamaican. I ain't wearing the mask. I'm vaccinated. I said, ain't got nothing to do with that. You still have to wear the mask. I don't know. But sometimes I'll be standing at my station. As long as I'm standing in my little square and ain't nobody around me, sometimes I put it down because after breathing so much and it get wet, then or or your nose start running, or your eyes start getting teary eye. So, but I always try to get extra mask and change it out and throw the other one in the garbage. Or if I go to the bathroom, I take it off and throw it in the garbage and put me a new one on. I just can't wear a mask, go in the bathroom, leave and wear that. That's just so nasty to me. So I just wear it, change it out, throw another one in the garbage, put another one on. But I will, put it down if I'm working, because sometimes you just, because you're walking up and down the ladder, walking up and down, moving all the time. And after a while, that thing gets, after 12 hours and after 7 hours of wearing the same thing on your face, yeah, it's all in a bucket. Before you come in, you got all these little blue masks. So I try to grab a bunch of them. I try to grab a whole bunch of them and put in my bag or my pocket. So, but people ask me, why are you wearing the vest? I said, you're supposed to wear the safety vest. What are you talking about? I said, you're supposed to wear the safety vest. I said at the other location I had to wear it. They wanted at you on the production floor. You ain't had it. So the one up there, Stone Mountain, let me tell you, they do a lot of stuff different that I was like, that's not consistent. I said, man, if these big wigs came in here and seen that, they probably would have said something. But who knows? They don't really give you the free mask. It's just be in the bucket as you enter the building. Before you enter the little thing, they got the mask in the yellow totes, and you just grab them and just keep on going. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. These companies are not going to be testing every day. They're going to ask you that when you come to work, show you that you've been tested every week, and then they're not going to pay for it. And then you're going to have to pay. So until it start coming out of, maybe when it comes out of people's pocket and they have to start paying, and they start going to these doctors and going to these places, and they gonna stop saying free vaccination, and they stop because free vaccinations is covered as part of the CARES Act. So as long as they're still being free and being tested is free, then um, you're gonna have to go and take your time. And then if they're not doing the rapid test, you gotta wait. So if you're working for a company and you gotta get tested, that means you gotta take out time. You gotta take out you gotta take time out your schedule to go somewhere, find a place that do testing. Then you gotta wait 24, 48 hours for you to get an email that you've been tested, and you gotta go to your work and show that every day. You gotta show that. Trust me. You got a choice. Go right ahead. I mean, if you got kids, I don't know. I'm not studying these stupid ass people who talking about they ain't gonna take no shot, they ain't gonna do this and they ain't gonna do that, and you got kids. I mean, I understand if the kids are under 12 years old and they can't get the shot, but if the kids are at a certain age to get the shot, and you sit up in here and you get it and they get sick and they die, don't be coming on TV crying. Don't be coming on there crying. That's all I know. Don't come up here crying because to me that's selfish. You're being selfish. No, because why would you take your kids to daycare? Why would you take your kids to daycare and expose? You can't have it. All these people who not wearing masks, non-wearing masks, not wearing a mask, complaining as people that ain't taking no shot. They want no. That's their problem. That's their problem. You don't want to get tested every day or whatever, then that's up to you. That's up to you. You don't believe in the mandate? Fine. You don't believe in the mandate? All right. Okay. Before you show up there, show that you ain't got it. And if it means you got to go every week, and then they're not gonna keep doing this free every day. This ain't gonna be free. You wait till January 1st, 2022 come along. When next year comes, January 1st, when they start putting up these new rules. Okay, we're no longer paying for the free. You don't want to do mandate? Okay, fine, no mandate. But before you come into this place, before you come into here, show your proof. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. If you don't get the vaccination, this is my thing. I ain't say nothing more about this because all these questions and all this stuff, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't my fucking problem. You don't want to do the man. You don't believe in the mandate. You want to burn masks in public. Fine. Go there. You get the test. You pay for the test. You show proof. And you ain't got it, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. You pay for it. That's it. You pay for the test. You pay for it. I don't care. You pay for it. Whatever it comes back 24 hours, it comes back 2 days later, and they say I'm like, nope. Show your proof. Show your proof. Okay, you can come back. I don't want to pay the school. I ain't waiting on man. I don't keep my job. Okay, just show your proof. Companies are not gonna keep paying for that. They're not gonna keep paying for testing every day. Every day you get tested. Nope. They're not going to do it. And why should they? Why should a company or business or any place take the time out to keep testing people every day because you come to work? They're not going to get unemployment. If you're federal and you quit, that's it. If you don't get tested and they say, okay, and you had a deadline, they didn't just give them weeks to decide. This was spoke about months ago. A couple months ago, they came up with that. When they came out and passed it, it said all federal employees and contractors, you had until October, whatever day it was. I can't remember the date. They gave them a couple months. It's 2 weeks from now. It's at least 2 weeks from now that if you don't get it, that dumb cracker that was screaming up there in Dorchester County with the Senator Lindsay, I'm offended. I'm about to lose my job in 2 weeks. Oh well. Oh well. You quit. If you hopefully you 58 years old, 57 and a half or whatever, you had 20 something years plus 30, which is, and you get your retirement, then you collect your retirement. That goes for the teachers, police officers, and whomever else that was nurses and some of these doctors and not doctors, it was more nurses and stuff that said they wasn't taking the vaccine. Okay, I quit. All right, here you go. You're doing all that. You quit your job, regardless what you're doing, because of something. I'm talking about for retirement. If you were a federal employee, people who it's not even 50. I don't remember what the age is. When people want, if they work for the federal government, and after so many years, if you want to quit and you got eligibility to retire, then you retire. Late 30s. What are you talking about? You can't retire in your late 30s from the federal government. You have it's time, it's age, and the time you've been in the government. You can't be 30ish and say I want to retire. No, you cannot retire. You have to get the age. That's what I said. It's either 57 or 58 or 60. I don't know. I'm not in the government no more, so I don't try to follow all that. Trust me. You work with the federal government. Um, no, you can't. It's not starting at 30. I know that for sure. It is no way, no 30s. Trust me. No, it's age and time. You have to have the age and the time. No, Colas is not. You're not even at the federal government. Why would you worry about that? Don't worry on something that if it don't apply to you, don't worry too much on well, how about to retire. I'm not at the federal government no more. I know I ain't worried about that because number one, all I have to do is focus on when it's time for me to get my 401k, thrift plan, and whatever money's in there, I can start to draw it, take it out. But in terms of retirement, I'm talking about the ones who are retired and you're a federal employee or if you work for the state and they talking about you got to get the vaccine. No, I ain't doing it. And if you at an age and your time and you know you can retire, retire. Move on and just retire. Learn the code. Go back to school. Learn how to learn a trade. Oh, and learn and get a new career. That's my thing. That's what I'm talking about. But if you're working for the federal government as a contractor or whatever, in some of these states they require, you're gonna pay for it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You don't want to get the stab. Um, that's their problem. It's their fucking problem, and people need to tell these people real quick. All this, you can't just keep your job and don't and do what you want to do anyway. What you ain't gonna do? I ain't wearing no mask. I ain't getting no jab. I ain't gonna. I want my job. Move on. They want about you. They focus about mandate and choices. Okay, you go ahead and retire if you got the time. You know when it's time. Trust me. When it's time for people to retire, you ain't gotta question it. You ain't gotta ask no questions. You already know. When it's time to retire, people right now, my former co-workers and stuff, they know right now. They know when it's time for them to retire. Someone just said, oh, I can retire tomorrow. They could put their paperwork in, and 2 weeks later, let them process it, and they clear out their desk and throw out all that junk they've been accumulating. They know when it's time to retire. Ain't nobody gonna remind them. People been putting that on their calendar from whatever. There's people right now I know. They already know they supposed to be retired. So many people retiring probably the end of this year. Every time December come around, hey, people retiring. Every time I turn around, we had a retirement party going on. Cake, the little sheet cake and stuff. Before I left IRS, there was so many people retired. And when I left, I called some people and said, oh, I retired. I was asking these people, when you gonna retire? When you gonna retire? They finally text me, Teresa, I'm retiring, They know, people know exactly when it's time for them to go. Every December 31st, every December 30th, or whatever. A couple months down the road, I'm gonna be calling some of my coworkers, hey, you still there? They'll be like, yeah, I'm about to retire. And let this government shutdown happen. They already extended the debt ceiling to December. And that's only temporary. And lo and behold, if they don't extend that debt ceiling and they shut down that government, shoes, it'll be a whole lot of people retiring at the IRS at the end of this year. Shoo. It sure will be a whole lot of people. So ain't no question about how many months and how many years and this and add these two numbers together, retire. People know. I'm not studying that because I'm not there anymore. And at this point, me focusing on retirement is going to be something. No, they don't get paid if they government shut down. At this point, my whole thing is at 53, next month in November, shoot, my whole thing is 15 more years. 15 more years. I'll be 68. And between 12 to 15 years is I'm trying to make sure I get my other stuff in order, pay off this mortgage, which is less than 10 years. I can't remember because I think I already figured it out when my mortgage will be paid off, when my student loans will be discharged. it'll be another 9 years, I think, or something like that. But if I get me this excellent job in this web development, and as and make some really good money, I'm gonna stash a lot of money away, pay off a lot of these debts I got, and and let my little retirement plan that I have. Yeah, I got my retirement plan with Amazon and some of these companies in my Fidelity account. I mean, it may not be a whole lot compared to what's in my thrift account, but at least between my retirement plan, if I work at Amazon, even as a software developer, I'm not gonna be no. I'll be damned if I'll be working and doing a warehouse job, doing the job I'm doing now for the next 2, 3, 4 years. No, not me. I already know I ain't doing it. Yeah, that TSP account, I've been shoot. My TSP statement a couple months ago, I gained $10,000. So when people talking about the market's gonna crash, it's too high, it's making money, I don't be listening to those dumb people on YouTube. Because the market's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. But all I know, my little TSP account, when I got that statement a couple months ago, I had $10,000 gain. I was like, woo! I was so shocked. So by the time I let this so and so by if I keep the account as is now and let that thing keep growing, 9, 10 years from now, I have about a million something. I already calculated that. Even if the market goes down a little bit and it keeps going down and up, down and up, down and up, this economy ain't gonna be, inflation and all that stuff. See, right now the stock market is so high. The stock market is so high. I mean, it's lost. When it says minus 200 points, minus 300 points, I'm gonna throw a video on that and educate people. I used to work on Wall Street. When I went to Baruch College and I lived in New York, I worked on Wall Street. I hope to be a millionaire, but to be honest, anybody could be a millionaire as long as you put your money aside. Even if you a gig worker, you open up an IRA account, you put money aside in your IRA account, which lowers your taxes, which lowers. Oh no, I didn't work on the floor. Mm-mm. I didn't work at the New York Stock Exchange. When I say I worked on Wall Street, I'm talking about I worked at Shearson Lehman, Bank of New York. Um, Ernst and Young was not on Wall Street. That was in Midtown Manhattan. No, I've been on the stock exchange floor before, but I never worked on the stock exchange. I worked at Bear and Shearson Lehman. They went defunct. They went under. Bear Stearns no longer around. All these companies I used to work for. When I think about it, I was like, dang. When that yeah, it was cutthroat. Where your ass doing? I was like, shut up, man, leave me alone. They had no computers and all that stuff back in the day like that. I used to make those calls for those stockbrokers and people. I wasn't licensed. I was supposed to make the calls and then you transfer them. I got so on the line, and then that was fun though. I did like that job though. Shearson Lehman. Can't believe it. They're no longer around. They no longer exist. They went through. Shearson Lehman, Bear Stearns. I don't even think Bank of America's around anymore. Was I working during that Bernie Maddox when they had that scam? I remember his name and stuff. I remember he was a real big thing. But who knew? Who knew? Years later, all those years, he was he was scamming people out their money. See, when I started working, yep, mostly white men. When I was working, like 1988, 89, 90s, those period of time, that was like the all of Wall Street. I remember I used to, and I was like a regular old clerk. When you worked past a certain time, they used to give you a private car and take you home. And I'm like, okay, I need a, I had a car service come and pick me up and take me to wherever I needed to go. Well, not everywhere you need to go, but shoot. They had that Christmas party we had at the museum, all nice and catered, and ooh, it was so nice. It was so nice back in the day, you know. That was at Ernst and Young. They used to have their holiday parties. Shoot, he scammed universities, colleges, trust funds. Mm. And I remember Donald Trump, the Donald. I remember the Trump Plaza. They used to be owned by the Helmsley. Um, yeah, I can't remember the bonus, but yeah, you get a little perks and bonuses. Well, when you like one of those clerks and stuff, that low entry, that low position and stuff, you know, it's just like those people who be messengers, bicycle messengers and stuff. You were just there you were like part of the support staff. And I was in college too. It wasn't like, oh, I want to. This will be my career. It was like a little part time job or something I did. And went to, it. It was different. Put it that way. It was different. Yeah, when people work at the bank, you know, work at a brokerage firm and stuff, you like one of those little entry level real positions and stuff. It was way quite. I'm gonna tell you, it was way quite different from the '80s, '90s or so. Way different. And I've been learned about investments. When I was in college, when I went to Walton High School, Academy of Finance, I've been learned about investments and all those type of things. Well, I don't know. There was some, but well, I don't know. I think everybody was kind of in that '80s, people making money and stuff, and but now those very same people, ain't no telling what they be doing. I don't know. It was a different time. Even when the year 2000, 2000K, I was talking about this, the crash, and the computer's gonna Y2K, and all those .com companies were started. I remember when Amazon came about. Who knew? Who knew? Apple. I don't think came about those people because people gonna do what they're gonna do. I ain't even care about those people. No, I ain't care about those people. I those people went to Florida. But who knew? Just the thought about what I think about now, like those the '70s, late '70s, when you think about some of these companies like Apple when they came about, and Amazon, and even Walmart for that matter. Shoo. Can you imagine if I had bought some of those stocks and just said, you know what, I'm just gonna buy this, and you just held on to it, I would have been a millionaire with that. I was like, dang. People invested in companies and stuff, and you said, okay, let me go ahead and buy it. And then you would think 10, 15 years, man, he ain't walking in on Amazon. Matter of fact, they supposed to have an anniversary celebration Is it this week? Let me see. I said I was gonna go over there and get me some free food and some. Yep, I think it's tomorrow. I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna go right up the street. They're supposed to have some kind of, the 2 year anniversary of the Amazon and Stone Mountain. They're supposed to have music, free food, giveaways. So I'm gonna drive right up the street tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I'm gonna go right up there, see what kind of, between 4 and 7. I'm gonna get there around 4, right? So I could see if they give me some free swag, but something, t-shirt, food. I'm just gonna go up there. I ain't gonna park my car. I'm gonna park like this because I ain't gonna stay long. I'm just gonna go right there just to see what they got. And they're supposed to have it again at the end of the week, but I'm gonna go there Monday. I think it's tomorrow. So see what kind of food they got and whatever. And I was like, remember I tell you I was under the tent waiting outside? So I don't know how they're gonna do something with all those people, but I'll be curious. They said about free food. I'm just curious to see what the free food they talking about. How you gonna have 500 something employees? If I don't even think it's 500, how you gonna have all those employees and you're gonna serve food for all those number of people that come at that building? But I'm gonna go up there. I sure will. I know. Still didn't get my damn $5,000 bonus, but Jeff Blessing ain't going up there. He's not even the CEO at Amazon anymore. He retired. He's still on the board of directors and stuff, but he's not the CEO anymore. I'm quite sure they know who he is. I don't find. I don't. I don't. I think they know who he is. He's working on his other venture, which is trying to be in space. So, but Jeff, he's not the CEO of Amazon. He retired a couple months ago. I ain't worried about that. All I'm gonna do is, if it's tomorrow, I'm going right up there around 4ish, see what they got in terms of food, so I can have an idea what they're gonna do when the weekend comes. Because it's supposed to be either Monday and it's supposed to be again at the end of the week on Friday from 4 to 7. Who knows what he's trying to do? All I know is that he said, "I thank my employees, my blah da da." He thanked all these people making it possible, which sounded to be a little bit obnoxious. Him and that other person, CEO, that earns Virgin Records, they be trying to compete amongst each other about who could be in the space first. All that kind of stuff. Some nerdy crap. But they've been investing billions of dollars in that space. So I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, that other guy. His name is Sir, whatever his name is. He too tried to do that. They did that space thing, that little test space, and it says, you saw it on the news. Well, the way they destroying the earth, who knows? All I know, in my lifetime, I'm not going to see it. Your lifetime, we're not going to see that. So there's a lot of things they be trying to do in terms of colonizing on the moon and space. It was a movie I was watching on Amazon that was talking about that. And I found that was amazing. It was right there, one of those Amazon original movies. Yeah. And and see, she the perfect person. 18 years old. They training her because in the next 20 20 years, 30 years of development. She probably be one of those people be like she's gonna be the head of whatever. Trust me, they everything they do now, everything that's happening now, from cell phones and AI and all this technology stuff. When they had like Star Wars and they were saying, like that the old not Star Wars, um, Star Trek, and they was going back. Even if you look at the cartoon, the Jetsons, everything they were doing and those showing in that, and that concept is what how people have the phones now, with the phone with the talk and see the camera phone. That was technology. They were doing that in Star Trek. They were doing that in Star Trek. And if you ever watch, um, yeah, but I'm saying the first thing when they had with the phones and all that things you saw on Star Trek, and it was not just that; it was a whole bunch of other things too. I just can't remember. I was watching a film. They was talking about that. How a lot of these technologies that came developed, it was in the TV show and movie, and you know how it came into fruition now. Because even now with Rosie and the Jetsons, even though they never make no reference about it, but Rosie, she was a robot, and they would do all the cleaning and all that kind of stuff. That's just just watch those things when they was talking about futuristic things. Even movies in the 50s, they made of robots, those big robotic and stuff. Man, in fact, I saw that on when they was talking about the history of Apple and history of Macintosh and computers, and that's real interesting. You could look up back on YouTube and find something they was talking about it. So a lot of don't underestimate the things they be doing. People for the longest time, 5 years ago, people talking about they ain't gonna have no flying, they ain't gonna have no self-made driving cars. Everybody was so negative about that ain't gonna happen, and they always gonna need people in the car. That ain't gonna be true. There's gonna be too many accidents. You know, and they having self-driving cars. They doing it right now. Remember a few years? I know Coles. I know you remember that. Remember that time when I got accepted in that program to learn how to code for the self-driving program on Coursera, and I was learning how to do it, and I just could not understand. That was my very beginning, about 5 years ago when I first started to learn that self-driving school, and it was sponsored by BMW and a whole bunch of other companies. But I know BMW was the main one. And if you finished, not to say you finished the program, you guarantee a job, but 4 or 5 years ago when I was learning the code, I was trying to self-teach and self-taught, but they was like, oh, you have to have some Python. You need to learn this language. Now I'm trying to learn all these different pieces. Now I'm trying to learn this piece, that piece. It was all over the place. Now, can you imagine if I had got some real guidance 4 years ago? And I could have been in the field right now. I probably could have been at least had 3 years experience under my belt, and would have been was this in the field of technology or learning something by now. But it was so many roadblocks. Well, I tried to go to Emory to learn, and well, you got to have experience, and you got to be a developer, and let's go to Indian. He was the director. He was Indian. Then I tried to go to this other nonprofit organization, and I tried to learn that, and then it was like, oh, you have to live in this certain area, and then they was really trying to teach you IT, technical support help desk, which is nothing more than customer service, you know. And then I went online But see, I was all, and then that's why I'm so glad about generation, because at least now I'm, after all the years of trying and trying to learn a skill and get there, I finally came across this good, this organization. I'm so happy for it, because see, now it gives me more incentive to know how to approach it. I don't know why it didn't happen 3 years ago. I don't know why it didn't happen 4 years ago, but it's happening now. And maybe with this great resignation that's going on, and the demand of people, and how as the years went by, how they was like, we need more people in the field, we short of people in the field, we need people, we need to train up. And I came back to Amazon the fourth stint around. There's not so many classes, how many have remaining, it's number of weeks. It's 15 weeks. So this is what, the third week. So I still have another 3 months, because I have all of October, November, December, and then half of the month in January. So at half of the month of January, sometime around the half of month of January, right when I fully be starting. Um, yep, they give you a certificate of completion. We work on projects. I will have a portfolio of projects that I could put, and they help you with your resume. They help you with the cover letters. They help you with the job search. If you don't want to if you want to pursue your education, they'll also help you pursue further education too. That's why I'm saying January 1st, when Amazon starts paying 100% tuition, I could also look into expanding my education with. I'm still going to look for a position. Don't get me wrong, but I'm still going to be soliciting if anybody wants me to do a web page, so I can have a projects. Um, January 1st, Amazon pays 100% of college tuition. And that's how I was trying to tell you, Colas. If you want to get into Amazon, you don't have to work there. I mean, I know it may be hard because I know you have another job. I know you have a job, but it also applies for part-time employees too. But you have to be there 90 days. So I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell some of y'all, if y'all looking for a job, no, I don't think so. No, I don't remember them saying masters. They're gonna pay for 100% tuition of on-demand, in-demand careers, healthcare, IT, and what's another one? Healthcare, IT, and I can't. What's the other one? Healthcare, IT. No, I don't think so. I don't know. It depends. It depends on the state that you live in, because it's going to show the list of schools. I don't remember. I don't know. I can't. I don't. I can't. I'm not going to say no right now with criminal justice, but I don't. I just know, um, when I go on my A to Z, and then you, that's what I'm saying. $18.50, and then don't let it be. That's the base pay. If the base pay is $18.50 plus $2.50 if you work over the weekend, meaning if you work a Thursday, Friday, Saturday schedule, for instance, you get an extra $2.50 shift differential pay on top of the base pay. So I'm not sure if 1850 includes the night differential, or is this 1850 the base pay. So if $18.50 is the base pay, that's the regular time, meaning you work during the daytime, afternoon, evenings. You could choose whatever schedule you want. They got morning, evening, and late night. So you could choose. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Cole, is you better jump on there and see, because if they have, they'll tell you the dates, they'll tell you the times. You choose which one you want to work. And if they have part time, they may have part time. So that might be an option too. I'd rather work, let me tell you, as much as the foolishness they be going on, if they got, I don't care what foolishness they got going on, you're not going to stop me from getting free education, especially since they pay for it up front. You ain't got to show your grades. Let me show you. You just got to complete it. And Amazon don't want people to stay at that warehouse jobs. They trying to get people. Let me tell you what Amazon objective is. Amazon offered 100% free tuition is because they can't find nobody to work at these jobs. And because it's so many people and so many companies that needs to look for people, they said last month they offered, okay, we're going to pay 100% tuition and you go back to school. Well, I work at night because I got the night differential. I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 3 days a week from 6 to 6:30. That's the schedule I chose because I get paid $15 and change plus the $2.50. So I'm getting the $18 and 50 something cent. That's what I was asking you. Is it the base pay? Did they say the base pay is $18 and some change plus $2.50, or is it just $18 for the base pay? Every state is different because certain states the cost of living is higher. That's why it's not the same. Right now, the base pay normally is $15 an hour plus $2.50 if you work overnight shift differential. I would make a difference what it is. If it's $18.50 and you saw it, regardless, you better, and you could fit that schedule, you better pick it. You better choose it and get on. See, this is my fourth go around at Amazon. When I first started at Amazon, when I was up there in Smyrna, they didn't have these robotics and they didn't have all that stuff, how they had it. You had to literally walk up and down with these boxes all on the floor, dropped on the floor as it came up the truck, and you were sorting them. That was part-time. It was supposed to be from 1 o'clock in the morning to 5:30. It was only supposed to be like 4 or 5 hours. Not even 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. And it was only $12 and some change. I was like, what? And I was not a blue badge. I was not permanent. They told me, oh, you permanent. Then when I got there, no, we're going to see, because after so many months, we'll see, and then we'll be permanent. It was like, all that back and forth. I said, what do you mean I ain't permanent? And the pay. Then they changed and it was only paying $12 and some change. And then I left because after that point, it was too much. Then I had to drive from where I lived, because I lived in Stone Mountain at the time, and drive to Smyrna. And it would be like 11 o'clock at night, going through all that traffic. And then I come back home. I took the back way because there was so much traffic coming back home and all that stuff. Then the second go round came around. They had a work from home job working at Amazon. Same thing. They were still only paying $12 and some change. You had to use your own computer. Then they said training would be a certain number of weeks. Then they talk about you're gonna be on the phone at the end of the week. Then they finally gave me the computer, which was a little tablet, which I still got. They never did. I said, when you gonna get this thing back? And they never said nothing about it. And then I think months later, or maybe a good year later, I saw the box, and then they had the return label in the box. I said, oh my God. Then the third time around was last year when I worked at Amazon Fresh, which was the groceries. At that point, that's when Amazon said everybody at Amazon is going to get a pay increase of $3. That's when they went to $15. So when they went to $15 an hour, the night differential pay and all that stuff wasn't a factor at the time. Then they offered the $2.50 night differential. They had over the phone. Even if you worked at Amazon, you need to speak to ERC. That's what I was see. That's the position that I had worked at one time doing, but I didn't. I quit after a week or 2 weeks or so. No, it wasn't even 2 weeks. A week and a half, because the way they did the training, it was self training, and it was all kind of craziness. Then you had to use your own computer at the time, so and I was 5 to midnight or something like that, 5 to 1 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't like, at the time I didn't too much care for their attitude, because it was like, don't take notes down, this and hurry up, this and I'm like, And then the position that I was doing at the time, it was only seasonal. It wasn't even permanent. They was only hiring people during the peak time when they needed people. And then I was like, well, dang, this ain't permanent. All the rest of the time when I worked at Amazon, it was never permanent until this year. No, last year. And then when I worked at Amazon Fresh, that's when I was standing up there with the COVID thing happened, and then they called me on the phone. You was off task from this time on this day, this time. And I was like, y'all just got me to come and do real work after having me standing there being a social distance person. That dumb cracker come call me on the phone talking crazy when I was working at on Wayfair. And that's what I was doing the groceries, going in that freezer, minus 20, 30 degrees and all that stuff, wearing that suit. Everybody else wore the same suit, all on the floor, wearing the same boots that everybody else had on their feet. I mean, nope. So I've been in Amazon, and that's not including when I was an independent contractor, when I drove my car to pick up the groceries or packages. I didn't even include that in my stint of Amazon, when they paid you $75, $59, $69 to pick up packages, but you don't know where you're going until you get there and start scanning it in your phone. Well, he could have got cursed out. Put it this way, he could have got cursed out. But you curse at people without actually cursing them out. There's a way of cursing at people without actually saying words. You fool. And then that's when Amazon called me back on the automated system a few months ago. You are now eligible for rehire. If you that's when I said, okay, let me see what y'all talking about. That's when I went online. I saw Jefferson and Brazelton, and I didn't see Stone Mountain. I was like, I want to be close to this Amazon up the street. And that's when I went. I chose Brazelton, which was like an hour, because I took the back way and I drove the Corolla. So that's what I said. Okay, let me go and see what this is about. And that's when I went. And that's when I chose the 3-day schedule, because I said I don't want to work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was during the day. They had a daytime schedule. I said, nope, I don't feel like having to be there at 6 in the morning, because that means I have to wake up at a certain time just to get there. And I said, nope. And then I said, if you choose the 3 days, that can't be that bad. And that's when it was. They said night, you work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, night differential, you got extra $2.50 on top of the base pay. And the base pay in Georgia was $15. And when I transferred, that's how I had that medical. Y'all know the whole story. And then I said, I want to put a transfer. Let me put in a transfer. I want to be, I have a medical reason, so I be closer to home. And then they didn't approve me at first. Because remember I told you when they had wrote me up for 30 days for making those mistakes for scanning. And then I went on medical leave. Right after that, the next day, And then I came back 3 weeks later, and then I transferred, and that was it. That's the whole story. And then I was like, you're not really, I'm walking, but I'm walking. That's when you walking to go, go home and walking to your station and walking, or whatever. But that is how, basically, yeah. Because if it pops up on their tablet and they said, oh, this person made 8 mistakes and whatever, it'll prop them up and then they give you a warning. That's what they do. They give you a 30-day warning. So everything is computed. That's why yesterday when I went to work and I came back and I wasn't signed into a computer, I didn't want to be wrote up or prompt the system that I was off task. And they said this person is signed in, but they off task. That's why I said I was finding the manager or whoever to let them know. And they say, well, and they try to act stupid. I said, no, you ain't getting me in trouble. That's when I went to the site director and told, that's when he gave me the BTO. And I explained to him, and he was like, well, let me explain first. That's not what's going to happen. And so it's okay. That was my main concern because, see, they'll sit there and play that dumb game. I don't know nothing about that, because they not worrying about if you got a station and working. It's only when that thing pop up on their little computer or their tablet, because they don't want you to think that you're stealing time, So, but in regards to, now this does go back to my whole entire men going to college and my topic. If you work at Amazon, and there's a lot of people who work at Amazon, majority of people I see there, even at the other locations that I've worked at, even recently, there's people of different age groups and stuff like that works at Amazon. Young people, people who, middle age. You don't see a whole lot of older people. And I'm talking about older people. I'm talking about 60 and up. Mm-mm. You ain't gonna see nobody 60 and up working in a warehouse. Now, early 50s, 51, 52, maybe somewhere around my age. Because the lady who trained us, she was basically, we were the same age. The other lady, we was the same age. She was 52. So 50 people say, that's not old. It is not. I'm still working. I'm still, got muscles and still got abilities to move and do whatever. But a lot of the systems they have in place with Amazon now that they didn't have when I worked there, even say 5, 6 years ago, they didn't have a lot of the robotics and stuff that they used to have in these warehouses. The newer warehouses and even the newer facilities they built, yeah, that's what they say. It makes it a little bit more efficient, you know. So you're not that hard breaking. Oh my God, Now I heard FedEx is hard. FedEx, this girl, a couple people they said he worked at FedEx. Now FedEx is really hard. I heard that, like, that's why FedEx here in Atlanta they paying $20 an hour, something like that. But FedEx, you be really working. I heard so many people say you don't want to work at no FedEx. That's you really. They're the ones who don't care. Yeah, they got benefits and all that kind of stuff going on. But let me tell you, FedEx, you really gonna be breaking your back. You really gonna be breaking your back. You work at FedEx. It ain't no joke. Matter of fact, when I used to go up there to Jefferson, When I worked at Carter's that Christmas, that 2, 3 years ago, I think it was 3 years ago now. I wonder, and Carter's, you drove right by the FedEx facility, and they had that big ass sign, not hiring. They always hiring at FedEx. Now they'll be hiring during the holiday season. UPS too, they'll be hiring and stuff like that too. Even UPS, they used to hire people. You drive your own car, they would pay $100 something a day. But I said, no, no, ain't driving my car, running down my car like that. But no, UPS, no way. No, I haven't seen, well, put it this way, I haven't seen too many ads out yet, but it's going to come right around late October, at the end of this month, the end of this month. It won't be surprised tomorrow. They'll have an ad out. UPS now hiring for the holidays. You're gonna start seeing some positions hiring for the holidays. Now I don't know about these shopping centers, but a lot of these warehouse places, they're gonna start hiring for the holidays. But if you could get on with Amazon while they have the position available now, I would get on now. I really would. I would get on now. And the reason why I tell people you should do it now is because January 1st, if you were ever interested in learning a new skill, new technology, new career, your ultimate goal is to be a welder or IT professional, healthcare. They even pay for coding. For you to learn medical coding, that's even included. And you know they're going to need people to do medical coding. Shoot. So I'm not trying to be paying for nobody. I'm not trying to pay for schooling or any type of training when I know I could work at Amazon and just be there 90 days. Because after 90 days, you don't have to wait a year no more. You used to have to wait a year, but it's now 90 days. And you could go to school. And they even have school exemptions. If you're in school, you could say, I'm going to school on these days. They could even change your schedule to accommodate for you to go to school. So you can't, it's great opportunities. Let me tell you that. And these things were not always available. It was not always available, but it's available now. Good thing I have my yeah, but being a certified bookkeeper. Okay, Romeo, let me ask you a question. Do you know QuickBooks? No, I'm saying, do you know QuickBooks? I mean, it's good to learn how to edit videos. Yeah, but do you know it? Anyone could take the class. Okay, well, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that if you work at Amazon, they do have programs to offer for you to go back to learn a career. And that's the point that I'm making. I'm not talking about I learned, because everything evolve. You know, yeah, you could get be a certificate in bookkeeping, but everything is automated with bookkeeping. You have an app, and people could just from the app they could dissect your information and from your bank statement or whatever. No one does bookkeeping, and no one calls it bookkeeping anymore. That's not, you would never hear no one says, I know bookkeeping. You put that on a resume, I know bookkeeping. That's so antiquated, that's so outdated that your resume is read by computers, and it's not going to pick up that key term. Oh, this person knows bookkeeping, accounting. Now, if you said, if you took, I have advanced courses in accounting, finance, but even learning those principles and learning those different types of accounting, cost accounting, managerial accounting, federal taxation, um, cost accounting, forensic accounting. It's all those books I got in that room, which I need to start donating and getting rid of because I don't read them anymore. I could look up a lot of stuff online, so I don't need to keep books like that. That's just creating clutter. And I need to declutter that office before tax season starts and declutter. So you have to always constantly keep learning. You don't have to necessarily go to college. You know, you could you always have to learn. You have to always constantly keep learning. Even if you do videos on YouTube, YouTube changes all the time. But if you could you can learn how to edit your videos and all that. Yeah, that's good. That's good to learn. There's people make money on YouTube. They have 100,000 plus subscribers. They make $10,000 a month. More or more. Some people that's their only career is being a content creator. But I'm saying it's never. But in the meantime, I can't sit around and wait. Oh, let me wait till I see if I can get me 10,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. You have to constantly keep working at it. There's some people got big channels. They hire other people to work with them on their YouTube channel, and they expanding beyond YouTube. They do YouTube channels. Then they next thing you know, they say, "About I got a podcast on this thing on this channel." They got other people who manage their social media accounts. They got positions called social media account or whatever they call them, managers, social media managers. That's some people's job is to manage other people's social media. Whoever thought that? I would never thought they would have such a thing 10 years ago. You didn't even hear nothing like that 10 years ago. 15 years for sure. Most definitely you ain't heard nothing like that before. So Romeo, so what I'm saying is that it's good you take an action of learning how to edit videos, learning bookkeeping, but you always have to keep up with that skills. There's always um, new things you have to learn. But I could tell you one thing, Romeo, if you learn the code, you don't have to learn the code to become a programmer. You can learn the code. You can learn how to code so you can create your bookkeeping business or learn the code so you could make your bookkeeping more efficient when you do it. Or learn coding because of YouTube, your YouTube channel. Some people learn the code because with YouTube, you even have to learn coding to some extent. There's a whole lot of things that's 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 um that's learning allow you to do more things with it. So anywho, I've been on here for 3 hours. It's 12:38. 60 y'all. Some of y'all already went to bed because I see that y'all went down from 8. But I do appreciate the thumbs up. And so let me go because I ain't got a long day tomorrow, but of course, my normal class tomorrow from 11 to 7. Then I'm going to keep on, not review. I was going to look at something on my TV shows. I may watch the TV show and then I'll go to bed. I've been sleeping, resting all day. I'm not quite sleepy, but I don't want to be hanging on YouTube all day either. All right, Romeo. But hopefully your channel, you working out. I'll keep seeing if you make any videos and watch them. Hopefully our channels will grow to the point where one day I'll get 1,000 subscribers and, you know, see what happens there. But I don't know. Maybe I need to do less live videos and more videos and download them. But I'll get more specific with my videos. So, but right now it's just gonna be my personal vlog. It ain't gonna be no learning how to code. I'm not gonna make those kind of videos, and I'm gonna still work on and expanding my tax consulting business. So that's what I'm gonna work on. My project for my website is building on my website and building on my personal website. I'm gonna do 2 projects. One is gonna be my TPS tax consulting website, and the other one is going to be my personal website. Maybe I'll do Let's Talk About It with Lady T website. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about what the website's going to be. I know one is for sure is going to be my tax consulting business. So I'm going to always do that. I'm always going to keep me 2 jobs. So that way, you know, I learn website development and you know, branch out into learning that. So I could be a consultant to do projects for people. So y'all look out for that. If y'all need a website, I'll do a little simple website as long as it's we agree about one. Maybe I start a small nominal fee, nothing expensive. If anyone's looking to do that. But Romeo, basically that's what people are doing. People on YouTube now, some of these big YouTubers and stuff, they branching out. They're not just doing YouTube and doing videos all day. They branching out to podcasts and some people doing within the skills that they talking about, they building a company on it. Some people started out as YouTube channel and then they was talking about, I'm doing, let me give you an example of one person, but I don't know how legitimate this person is. They was doing YouTube in that beef sectors, dragging each other, doxing and all kind of crazy stuff. Then she started saying, I'm gonna do a hairline wigs, and she started a wig company, Babe Nation Wig Company. And I looked up the website. It was quite interesting. The website was done very nice. It was a company based here in Atlanta that did it. And while they on YouTube, they also direct people about their wigs and hair, wigs and weaves and all kind of stuff. But that's just one example. So there's people doing a whole lot of things. YouTube ain't just them talking on YouTube. Some people's, and I ain't talking about selling no merch, Some people just branched out in terms of doing podcasts and a whole bunch of other things. So they make money on YouTube, but they also make money for their company by being on YouTube. So there's a lot of examples I could give on people who I watch. So, but that's a good thing. You got to step out and build, YouTube is a platform to reach a wide range of audience. So my thing is reaching out to an audience when it comes to taxes and yeah, there's always been more small business than there were before. But most small businesses start out to be big companies too. So, but anyway, let me go. All right. Y'all have a good night. And call us. I'll look out for my message. What you talking about? So y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for subscribing. NBA City, Colas, Glory Products and Food Reviews, Sharky Phelp, Dorian, Sally. Where you at? I ain't seen you all day. Blue True. Who else could be on here? And all the rest of y'all. I know it's 8 of y'all, but I only see 2 people, well, 3 people now on here. Maybe 4 y'all on here, but I don't know. All right. 5, 6. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I've been on here for 3 hours and it's time for me to go. Talk to y'all later. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.